Rebecca, what stood out to you the most about that battle last night?
Well, I didn't expect this game to be close, to be honest with you, because of the way the regular season matchups had gone. But what really stood out to me was the play of Sophie Cunningham. Without Diana Taurasi in the lineup, the New York defensively flooded inside. Even before Brittany Griner got touches, they had multiple defenders on her. And Phoenix had difficulty with that early until they inserted Sophie Cunningham, who was absolutely phenomenal. 6 of 7 from the three-point line. This is a player who's a reserve, who knows her role. It was a career high for her yesterday, and they desperately needed that because of the way New York was playing defensively. A huge bright spot for them going forward with the uncertainty of Diana Taurasi in the next round.
And I think for me, Cass, the thing that stood out most to me is New York and how well they played and how bright their future is. Yes, they lost this game, but you look at some of the young pieces there. Benijah Laney, who has really come into her own and showed last night, yeah, she can do it on the big stage as well against the biggest opponents. You look at Sabrina Ionescu in her first playoff game, the way she orchestrated, obviously the double-digit assists, the double-digit points, also just the poise of the possessions down the stretch. That's what was so remarkable to me. Even though they lost, there were multiple times Rebecca and I were watching the game together after we had called our game, and we were like, wow, there have been so many points where it felt like Phoenix was going to run away and hide, and New York didn't let them. So, yes, they end up losing, but they're going to use that game as a foundational piece moving forward for what could be a contending team in the years to come in the not-too-distant future.
Yeah, without a doubt. Even though it was just a one playoff game, it was still a playoff game, and you definitely build off of that. And we'll see what happens with Diana Taurasi as the Mercury now move on to face the defending champion Storm, who might not have Breanna Stewart, who missed the last week of the season with a left foot injury. That game Sunday is also a single elimination game. And Rebecca, how much does the playoff format hurt the Storm in this scenario?
I think any team that has injury or where you might get a player back, it could hurt you because you don't have an opportunity to get that player back. I would like to see the playoff format. I think the first round, it's fair. 7 and 8 seeds, they get one shot to play a higher seed, a 5 or 6. But I think as you go forward, in particular, when you get to these 3 and 4 seeds, they should not be in a position where they face single elimination. I think it would be much better that they could get potentially best of 3. The hard part with that is then your 1 and 2 seeds are sitting for a really, really long time. But as exciting as last night was, I think that's fair with the 5 through 8 to have the single elimination. But going forward, I would like to see it go to a three-game series in the second round.
Especially, Cass, if you look at both of these, the 3 seed and the 4 seed, I think, they both are vulnerable in these matchups. Minnesota was hot at the end of the regular season, unlike Seattle, but Chicago's a dangerous team. For Seattle, this is definitely going to be a toss-up matchup because we don't know about the health status of Breanna Stewart. It looks like there's at least a strong possibility she does not play in this game. And as we saw from the Storm down the stretch, they're a completely different team when they don't have the former MVP on the floor, obviously so. So we'll see if Phoenix has Taurasi. Rebecca's talked about this, and I think she's right. Whichever team gets their star back has the advantage in that matchup. If Phoenix ends up with Taurasi on the floor, I think they're the favorites to win that game. If somehow Breanna Stewart plays, all of a sudden you'd feel good about the Storm's chances.
Well, last night, you two were on the call between the Wings and Sky. Chicago pulled away late from Dallas behind 23 from Kalia Cooper and 11, 15, and 7 from Candace Parker. The Sky have another winner-go-home scenario Sunday with 3-seeded Minnesota. Ryan, what's your biggest head-to-head matchup between the Sky and Lynx Sunday?
It's interesting, Cassidy, because so often when we think about big playoff matchups, I think, we initially go to the backcourt, right? And you think about, okay, who's the player who's just going to have the ball in their hands, who's going to be able to create buckets? And that's not necessarily what you have with the backcourts of these two teams, but sort of, 2-3 swing players I kind of look at in Kalia Cooper and then her matchup going up against Aerial Powers. They both can fill it up. They're two-way players. They bring a lot of activity. They're not necessarily the consistent backcourt type scorers you look to in playoff games. But I think you could end up looking at that matchup, especially what those players also do defensively for their teams and energy-wise, and saying, all right, whichever ends up having the better game could end up swinging the result for her respective team.
And Cassidy, I always like watching the big matchup because that's what I played. I was an inside player, but in this matchup in particular, what's interesting, when we called the game last night between Chicago and Dallas, it was a huge contrast in playoff experience. Chicago, a ton of playoff experience, and Dallas only with 10 total games on their roster of playoff experience. Well, in this game, you've got a bunch of players, in particular Candace Parker and Sylvia Fowles, who not only have playoff experience, they have championship experience. They have been in these moments. They've been in championship moments. Candace Parker's won it once. Sylvia Fowles won it 4 times in Minnesota. This is going to be a pretty incredible head-to-head matchup, and specifically because they play such different styles. Both very good defensively. Syl, more of an inside player. Candace can face you and take you off the dribble. But this is going to be a fun matchup between 2 seasoned post players.
Talk about Sunday fun day. And with the next round this weekend, we wanted to run it back with you guys and go look at the top 3 best plays from the second round with you. And from last year in the bubble, Candace Parker, between the legs, scoop with the left. Exactly.
That is a nasty finish.
Off the glass with a kiss. We stay in the bubble for our second play. Diana Taurasi wanted a 4-point play so bad she pleaded with the official before the shot even went in.
Only Diana Taurasi and could probably hit that consistently, playing before the shots through the net.
Right. Hey, gotta love her fire. And an all-timer in 2019 to Erica Hamby with the steal, tosses a prayer when she didn't even need to, and it goes in anyway.
This is like the teaspoon shot, right? This is a historic forever shot. And you're right, Cass. The most absurd thing about it is she released it when there was like 6 seconds left on the clock. We didn't need the 47-footer, but that's what we got, and I think we're all blessed to have had it.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.